Hello there, this is Dana Arcuri from danaarcuri.com, author, speaker, survivor, advocate, and certified trauma recovery coach. Today's message is 6 reasons why you can't heal in narcissistic abusive relationships. Let's get started with today's message. So we're going to chat about the 6 reasons why you may not be able to heal if you are still currently in a relationship with a narcissist, the flying monkeys, or a toxic person. Let's go with number 1. So your body is flooded by cortisol and all types of hormones when you are in abusive relationships. There's a lot of scientific and medical evidence about this. I'm going to share a quote, and it just warms my heart because this quote, I found it online, and it happens to be by the woman who runs the International Association of Trauma Recovery Coaching, where I became a certified trauma recovery coach. And her name is Bobby Parrish. She is a mental health and trauma-informed expert, and she does know very much about narcissistic abuse. She says, narcissistic abuse and trauma survivors are often diagnosed with chronic pain and autoimmune disorders because long-term exposure to cortisol and adrenaline, which is the fight or flight chemicals, cause inflammation in our bodies. Inflammation causes pain, or worse, it causes our immune system to attack itself because it thinks the inflammation is caused by a disease it needs to eradicate. And so I could definitely say that as a survivor myself of narcissistic abuse, I have been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I know all about chronic pain. I have been dealing with it now since 2008, actually even before that. Most people who are diagnosed with fibromyalgia, they suffer with it for many, many, many years before it's actually clearly diagnosed. It could take people many, many years, even decades, to be accurately diagnosed. And so it does not feel good, but it can be a manifestation of repressed trauma. And so I definitely know that my own challenges with chronic pain and fibromyalgia do go hand in hand with what I experienced with child abuse, sexual abuse, and narcissistic abuse. Let's go to number 2. Another reason why someone may have a difficult time healing from narcissistic abuse, if they're still in the relationship today, is because there could be a lack of trust and a lack of safety. And so we have to understand that if you don't trust the person you are in a relationship with, and if you don't feel safe, it can make it very, very difficult to navigate the healing journey. And oftentimes our body will alert us, danger, danger, I don't feel safe. You might have a racing heartbeat. You might have pain all throughout your body. You might have anxiety, panic attacks, a racing heart, insomnia. You might not be able to sleep. You might have various trauma responses such as fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, and on it goes. So there's a lot of different trauma responses that we can experience. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to we cannot heal from a place of not being safe, of not having a trusting relationship. And so as a certified trauma recovery coach, I have worked with a lot of people who are trying to navigate the narcissistic abuse recovery journey. And over the past year, the one common theme is any of my clients who had still been in the relationship with a narc, they had a harder time. They had a more difficult time. I felt like they really weren't even able to heal. I'm going to keep it real. It really concerned me that they were still in the relationship that was so abusive and violent, and that they were struggling badly. And so we have to understand, if you don't feel safe, if you don't trust someone, you cannot heal. And that is extremely difficult. I validate it, but I'm also sending out love and light to those people who really do need to break free of the toxic dynamics. And that's why I'm having these videos on YouTube, because I believe that we deserve safety. We deserve to be able to heal whichever pathway we choose. And the first start is to cut ties for once and for all with the narcissist. Obviously, not everyone's able to do so. And I can understand that. I can also validate that. However, please know that you are so worthy of being safe. And I really sincerely do hope that you will set boundaries for your own self. Next would be number 3. Another reason why some people cannot heal if they're currently in a relationship with a narcissist is because they're being re-traumatized day after day after day. And so you cannot heal if you're being re-traumatized. Your body is being flooded with cortisol. You are not in a good place. And so these are dynamics that are hindering your recovery journey. And we're going to now go into a quote that pretty much sums it up. And the quote is by an unknown author who stated, "Trauma is specifically an event that overwhelms the central nervous system, altering the way we process and recall memories. It's the current imprint of that pain, horror, and fear living inside people." And now we're going to go to number 4. Another reason why you may not be able to heal if you are still in a relationship with a narcissist or an abusive person is because it's these dysfunctional dynamics that hinder your ability to cope. Therefore, you may end up with maladaptive coping mechanisms, which are not helpful, and you may feel stuck. It's, in a way, it could feel like it's fear-based because there's so much anxiety, because every day that narc is manipulating you, they're stalking you, they're gaslighting you, they're retaliating against you, they're brainwashing you, and you might have a trauma bond with the narcissist. Let's go to number 5. Another reason why you may not be able to heal if you are currently in a relationship with someone who's toxic, narcissistic, and or abusive is because there's long-term mental health ramifications. So we cannot think that we could be in these abusive relationships and that nothing's going to happen to our mental health, our emotional well-being, because most certainly it is going to be impacted significantly. So if you feel like you're going crazy, it could be that the narcissist is making you feel like you're going insane. We know that this is what the narc does. They have a motive to harm you, brainwash you, and to make you think that you're going insane. This is what they do. You know, the whole thing with gaslighting. You might feel like you're walking on eggshells with them. And so this leads me to a quote. It happens to be my quote from my book. So it's called Soul Rescue: How to Break Free from Narcissistic Abuse and Heal Trauma. And the quote says, "You feel smothered. You constantly question your feelings, perceptions, and memories. A small, suffocated part inside of you wonders whether you are going crazy. This is exactly what the narcissist hopes for, that you question your mental faculties." And now let's go to the next, which is number 6. Another part of the healing journey, especially for those who are still in the midst of being in a current relationship with a narcissist or a toxic person, is that there's codependency involved. So codependent relationships make you feel stuck. It's not caring, it's not loving, it's not safe, it's not healthy, but yes, it really can sabotage your trauma recovery process. And a toxic home goes hand in hand with a codependent relationship, and it could be with your parents, siblings, relatives, or even future relationships with intimate partners. According to Merriam-Webster.com, they say, codependent Codependency is a psychological condition or a relationship in which a person is controlled or manipulated by another who is affected with a pathological condition. And then a person named Sean Byrne, who wrote the book Unhealthy Helping, a psychological guide for overcoming codependence, enabling, and other dysfunctional helping, states, codependence is an imbalanced relationship pattern where one partner assumes a high-cost giver-rescuer role, and the other is the taker-victim role. And so actually I have an entire chapter on the roles that we play, especially in the toxic, narcissistic relationships. Oh yes, there's the roles. We know about the golden child. There's the scapegoating. And there is all these other people who play certain roles when it comes to these types of toxic relationships. And so you may want to check out my book, Soul Rescue, if you are trying at this moment to navigate your healing journey. Anyone who is trying to navigate the healing journey, I want to end on this note. And that leads me to, let's see, another quote in my book. And that is in regards to healing from narcissistic abuse, sibling abuse, toxic families, and any type of abusive relationship. Going no contact is hard. Staying and maintaining no contact is even harder. With time, patience, and your willingness to keep a long distance from the narcissist and/or abusers, you will eventually experience awesome benefits. You notice that you are not as stressed out. Your anxiety and depression may decrease. You find yourself happier and laughing and enjoying your life. You start to focus on your gratitude and you become more aware of your blessings. You feel peace wash over you, and it is the best feeling on earth. Oh, yes. I just love that. And I think that is so true. And I don't know if you are right now in the midst of currently being in a toxic, abusive relationship with a narcissist, with the flying monkeys, or with some other perpetrator. If you are, and if you need help, if you need to navigate narcissistic recovery processing and the whole healing journey, feel free to reach out to me, Mercury.com. So share with me, what else do you believe could hinder your progress for healing if you are still in a toxic, psychologically abusive relationship? Are you currently still in the relationship with the narc? If so, how is it significantly impacting you and your health and your wealth and your life and your future and your peace? Share the comments down below. Let's keep this topic and the discussion going. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and feel free to reach out to me at danaarcuri.com. Thank you, and have a beautiful day.